Hi Year 5 and welcome back to our second lesson all about climate change. I'm going to just share my screen and then we can get started. Fantastic. So last week we looked at what climate change was and also some of the effects of climate change. So last week we looked at what climate change was and some of the effects it has on our planet. This week we're going to be looking at what can we do about it. So a lot of our modern activities, such as plugging in devices, driving cars and heating our homes, rely on energy sources such as natural gas, oil and coal. And when we burn those energy sources, they release a gas called carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. When carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases trap heat that would otherwise escape Earth's atmosphere, the planet's temperature rises. And that is what we call global warming, which causes climate change. And this affects us all. Often we talk about the ice caps melting and polar bears and penguins, but as we saw last week, it is not just at the extremities of the world, it's actually affecting all of us. And I'm going to show you a quick video now showing just that. So, what can we do to help climate change? I would like you to have a little think just for about 20 seconds. If you've got a pen or paper with you or a whiteboard and pen, please just jot down a couple of things that you think that we could do to help fight climate change. Excellent, Year 5. I'm sure you've come up with some fantastic things. These are some of the ones that I thought of. So, reduce and reuse. All right, so we need to reduce and reuse as much as possible because factories emit carbon dioxide when they are making new products. So instead of buying new things, we can fix our old things and do things like mend our clothes. Switch off and unplug. We need to remember to do things like switch off our light switches. We could have shorter showers, and we need to remember to unplug our devices because all of these things use electricity. And when we use electricity, we are burning things like coal and natural gases in power plants, and then those are releasing chemicals and gases such as carbon dioxide, which goes into our atmosphere. Eat seasonal fruit and vegetables and those grown in the UK. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to have a little think about why do you think this is important? Excellent. So a lot of our fruit and vegetables gets flown in from abroad, and that means it has travelled on planes or boats to get here, all of which use energy, which is often natural gases and things like oil and coal. And as we know, when we burn those things, it releases gases into the atmosphere. So if we eat fruit and vegetables that are grown at the time and all they had to do is be picked and brought to our supermarkets within the UK, then we'll be using a lot less energy and burning a lot less fossil fuel for them to reach us. If you want to know more about this, you should ask either year 2 or year 6 who have been learning all about where our food comes from. So we need to eat more vegetables instead of meat. So our livestock, our cows and sheep, pigs, chickens, they take up a lot of energy. They eat a lot of crops, which could be used to feed humans. Also, a lot of forests are cut down in order for livestock to feed on that land. And animals, particularly cows, have a lot of flatulence, which means they're a bit windy and release a lot of methane, which goes into our atmosphere and contributes to climate change. So this is an obvious one. As you can probably see, on a cold day, all the car's exhaust releases smoke, which contains gases that then go into our atmosphere. So walk and cycle as much as possible instead of driving. Finally, in your house, you could do what I'm doing today. So I was a little bit cold, and instead of turning my heating on, I decided to put on a thick jumper and a woolly scarf in order to stay warm. And again, in the summer, instead of turning on fans or air conditioning, you could maybe open the windows to try and stay cool. So this is your activity for today. I would like you to make a pledge. This is something that you are going to try to do to help reduce global warming. I'd like you to then explain why you think this pledge is going to make a difference and how it is going to combat global warming. Remember, if everyone does one little thing, it will make a huge difference. So this is what I am going to pledge. I pledge to only charge my phone during the day and unplug it as soon as it is fully charged. So lots of people charge their phone at night, but that means your phone could be charging for 8, 9, 10 hours a day when it actually doesn't need it. Most phones and devices can be charged within an hour or two. So what I'm going to do is only charge my phone during the day, and as soon as I see it's on 100%, I'm going to unplug it and switch off my charger. So why do I think this is going to make a difference? I think this is going to make a difference because it will use less electricity. Although some electricity is now renewable, most electricity is made in power stations that convert gas and coal to fuel by burning them. As we know, when we burn things like gas, it releases other gases such as carbon dioxide. This then gets released into the atmosphere, trapping heat and contributing to global warming. By unplugging my phone as soon as it is charged, I will reduce the amount of electricity I use and therefore the amount of greenhouse gases released into the atmosphere. If I use less electricity, I will also be saving on my electricity bill. So that's my pledge and why I think this will make a difference. And then you can also draw a picture to illustrate what you are going to do to really help to fight climate change. Remember, you can use some of the examples that we have discussed today, but you might have also thought of some other things that you could do to combat climate change. And so you can use one of those things as your pledge. And remember, it can just be a really, really little thing. It doesn't need to be a huge, huge thing. So just think about what you could do to help the planet and combat climate change. Right, Year 5, this is our last online lesson, and I am really, really looking forward to seeing you all next week. So please upload your work on Seesaw. Have a lovely week, and I will see you for your outdoor learning lesson at Art Franklin next week. Bye.